guys. Anyway, thank you very much. My leg is killing me, so I'm going to sit. But I am really, really honored to be here today. I want to thank Andrew Richet. I want to thank everybody from Personal Democracy. And I am Gale Brewer, and I am the borough president, but I was in the city council, and I did chair the technology committee. And I know that things take a while, but being here today knows we're really, really going in the right direction. So in government, I have focused on several areas that I hope will be helpful to those when I share them. The first is what I call phase 2 of the open data movement. And I was proud in the city council to pass the open data law. And we've made great strides, publishing tremendous amounts of information about what the city does and how it operates. However, we now have the challenge of moving beyond the single publication of government data toward actual decision-making using this data. Easier said than done when you're working with people in the neighborhoods in particular. So my goal is to train our smallest units of government, New York City's community boards. I know some of you have been to a community board, some of you might be on a community board, because I want the community boards to utilize this data. From everything from quality of life problems to land use reviews. That's what community boards do in the city of New York. We can make a huge difference in the way government decisions are made if we can improve life with this data. So what we did this past year was to work with a lot of CUNY undergraduate students. We trained them in GIS and mapping, and we put them in the 12 community boards. And we're going to try to do that again next year. But again, you're trying to move another generation, both in terms of the community boards and the young people. We did maps of hip-hop, hip-on, hip-off buses. We did maps of where vendors can and cannot go on the streets. It's a very antiquated list currently. And of course, my goal is for every community board decision to be based on actual data and not people like me screaming and yelling about what should be because I think it's right. And in terms of affordable housing, you hear every single moment if you read the local papers about 421A, tax abatement, developers. You know what? You have no idea because there's no actual one-source data of where the affordable units are that have accompanied or not accompanied where those tax abatements have existed. Second, I'm focused on the schools and every aspect of technology, working with Andrew Richet and others. We have a task force looking at the issue of how teachers and school administrators can use software in their lesson plans. And working with Civic Hall, we had a wonderful mixer with lots of principals and lots of people who work on civic and educational technology. They've never been together, they've never talked together, so now we have a whole cadre of people who are going back and forth on this issue. Every school I go to, what is the issue? Lack of technology in terms of the quality that they'd like to see and the hardware they'd like to see, understanding the training of the software, and connectivity. You're going to have 5 schools in one building now. Turn all the video on for the 4th grade or 12th grade, and it doesn't always happen. So we have more money coming in from the state, $2 billion. How does it get used? How does government play a role in all of this? So just to say, between the schools as an example and figuring out how to deal with open data, civic tech really is the future. So it's an honor to be here with so many people who are on the front lines, like all of you, and I look forward to getting your ideas for government. We're all listening. Thank you, and have a great conference.